Oh,
Hey.
here we are. Here you go. You know what the problem is?
I said, hey, I didn't mean to. I don't.
Well,
you're
you
not
know what the
supposed to start
problem
with
is?
hey.
I'm following the conversation on YouTube, and then that gives us our negative feedback.
So you had to mute that, didn't you?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, everybody.
Welcome.
I am Corey Pratt,
I am Chris Ruck.
and this is Craving Cars Live. It is a fun-filled show of things that we talk about in car talk and industry news and
Laugh and festivities.
and a bunch of blah 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 blah.
Yeah, a bunch of that.
Yes. Bunch of that. And you know what? We have a awesome special guest in the studio today, which we'll announce here momentarily. But first thing is what I want to throw out there is the thank you to our sponsors for
Let's
helping
talk
to make
about
this
them.
show
Yep.
possible. I want to thank unKCorked Wine and Spirits. They are our newest, which
Yep.
is why they got
Dave,
announced first today.
Great job.
Thank you, Dave.
Yep, he was on last week.
He was.
Did an amazing job.
If you guys missed that, stop watching this stream now. No, I'm kidding. Don't.
You learned everything last week.
When you're done watching this stream, go back and
That's
watch
right.
last week's show. Okay. We want to thank Jason out of We Are Warriors.
Definitely. You know what? He's come out with so many new designs.
Oh, my gosh.
I know. I know.
I showed them. There's a little bit of a tidbit of the video of Jason here in
Yeah.
the Eureka Springs that we went
Yep.
to. We talked about that last week as well.
We did.
We are bringing up last week a lot.
I know.
You know, you get some people, you know how you date some people, like, why are you breaking up the
Well,
past?
well, I didn't. Because we have to.
But We Are Warriors. Thank you so much. RICHLINE Motorsports has
Yes.
always been a good supporter of us, and obviously they have good services and wheels and all that good
That's
stuff.
right.
What else we
Kids
got?
and Cars, Mod
Kids
Squad,
and Cars,
for sure.
Mod Squad.
Hey,
and,
speaking of which,
and one more, and it goes all to Tim. He's kind of like the silent partner.
he is. We always say this. He's
Timely-
not very silent if you watch his Facebook page.
Oh, actually-
He's always out. He's at the Chiefs game tonight, by the way.
Well, probably with his truck. And
He
it's all
is.
set up.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah,
he's not
yeah.
silent. When you go to a car show, you'll know his truck
That's
because
right.
it's the loudest one there.
That's right.
And well, one is the Chiefs thing. Go Chiefs. Yeah,
There you go.
We're playing
There you
tonight.
go.
First game against the Lions. So good luck to you guys out there.
For
but
sure.
Tim from Timely Delivery Service, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Appreciate all you guys. You kind of make it happen. Thank
All
you.
of you.
That's so great.
All of you.
Yeah. Is that it? Is that everybody?
That's it. That's
All
the
right.
show.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, go watch the
Appreciate
Chiefs.
it. Okay.
Go watch the Chiefs show.
See you later. Hey, you know,
There you
can
go.
we put the Chiefs up in the corner? Just like,
Okay, no. No.
but let's just put them over the right top corner
No.
where you're at.
No.
That'd be perfect.
Okay.
All right. Anyways,
That's copyright.
Oh yeah. I guess it
Yeah,
would be.
we'll be sued.
But we'll go down.
In flames.
Yeah, we would be actually.
There you go.
Probably because we
There
started
you go.
ourselves on fire.
How was
So,
your week?
I don't know.
How was your week?
It kind of went by pretty quick.
Did it?
Had a 3-day weekend too, right? You get to do anything fun?
No.
I had some family.
Yard work.
I had some family from
That's
out of
what
town.
we did.
That was awesome. But they only were here for Monday.
Hey, and that
I
leads
only got
me
Monday to
into special shout out to the wives who always come up with a list
they do.
of stuff for us to do.
Yes. Yes, they do.
I know.
Even mine did when she's going to be out of town.
Right?
Make sure you get this done and that done too.
That-
no, I'm
there
just
you
kidding.
go. No.
Joking aside, they are our biggest
Yes.
supporters. So thank you to our spouses. Appreciate you.
Yep, for sure.
Appreciate you so much. And if mine's even listening right now because she's on the road, so she's on her way to.
Probably
I
not.
don't know. She's on her way somewhere. She
Probably
told me where
not.
she was going, but I don't know if that's where she's going or not.
So this
She's
weekend,
probably going to like California. Oh yeah, what do you got?
we got
What you got
stickers we're giving away.
What?
Yeah. We got the, the Craving Cars
Yeah,
live.
there you go.
There you go. And
Yeah.
then we got the Rigs and Roasts.
You get, there you go.
Yeah, it's
A
backwards.
little off camera a little bit. there.
Backwards to me. But
Yeah.
you know what? We got those. We're going to be handing those out. We got T-shirts we're going to give away.
We
So
have some T-shirts. You know what they look like? They look kind of like this. Oh, want to see the back? Do they want to see the back?
the back is the best.
Bam!
Right? There you go. There you go.
Take that out.
But you know what?
Check it out.
All this goes into where are we at this Saturday? Because I-70 Speedway,
Mm-hmm.
right? Brand new, opening up for just people to hang out, do a great day.
Yes.
We're there from 8 o'clock until 5 or 6
Well,
p.m.
when's the actual show start? Like the actual meet and greet. When's the
9.
time for that?
9.
9 to what?
9 to 5.
9 to 5.
Yep.
I feel like we can make a movie out of that.
The Dolly Parton, you want me to reach
Can
out
we get
there?
her? Yeah. let's
We
get-
could.
She can star in it. That'd be great.
There you go.
That's a good
There you
idea.
go. That's an option.
Yeah, so 9 to 5. We're going to obviously be there before it's set up and more likely be there.
Yep.
Closing down
And
afterwards.
we have our good friends, Casey Showdown, Denny and them. They're bringing 3 cars, amazing cars, and they're going to be hanging out with us. So should be cool.
I was told they didn't. I was told we didn't have to hang out with
They
them.
didn't qualify.
I was told we didn't have to hang out with them.
That's
No, they were going to be on the other side of the park.
no, they're in there with
No,
us.
they're going to be. So if you guys, y'all know the media van will be there. Serenity will
Yep.
be there. So that'll be all set up.
Yep.
A Denny, and then they'll be by us as well. So that'll be awesome.
That's right. Yeah.
And I don't even know the setup, man. This brand new. No one else is. There's never been an event there.
Nope.
This
First
is the
time.
first one. So
Yep.
this is going to be really exciting.
Really exciting, and we're providing all the media and all the entertainment, PA, DJ system, full video coverage. So we're doing all of that.
So make sure if you are not following us, we are on Instagram and Facebook, as well as right here on YouTube. So
That's right.
subscribe to the channel.
There you go.
And just go back and just like every single video on the channel and then share them. I mean, watch them if you like to. That's the
Or
thing.
don't.
I kind of want to do a little update.
Go ahead.
Oh, it's not for me. It's for you.
Oh.
Yeah. What's going on?
What are we updating?
What's going on with the cars, man? Okay, so one,
No.
you guys follow the cars. He's got 2 cars he's trying to get back on the road. But
3.
he just got one car.
Okay, yeah. Well, 3, but I got 2.
We're
that
not
are
counting
going.
one of them.
Yeah.
One of them don't count.
All right.
It's
So what do you
actually-
want to know?
It's just a go-kart.
What are we
That's-
updating
no.
for?
What's
Ask me questions.
Anything new with the Audi? Because we got something we're going to be going out to Chicane here at the beginning of next month.
You know what? I'm trying to work with Brad around just live streaming the build of the Audi.
Okay.
Should be coming October.
that'd be
First week of October. Should be done by end of October.
Hey.
That's the goal.
At the very least, we should at least be able to do some progression videos on it,
There you go.
and then put something
time
together.
lapse.
Put some stuff together at the end.
Yeah. They're calling for 100 hours worth of labor.
Is he going to be able to fit in his busy schedule to come onto the show at some point?
You
do
know
we
what?
or do we just need to go to Chicane and shoot live there?
From what I heard, he wants to, but they're so busy. So
Maybe we just
We'll
need-
figure out what
maybe
the
we
best
just need to
option
do
is.
live there while he's working on a car.
right, let's just pull the van up, sit outside the garage door, knock on it, and say,
Brett,
"Hey, what's the progression?"
How tall is the door in your shop?
Big enough. Big enough for your van.
Is it over 10 feet?
I think so. It's like 14
Right,
something.
let us know if it's over 10 feet. We'll pull the van in there. We'll set it up and we'll shoot live show with you. So that way you don't have to give up any work.
That's right.
And then we could just, we'll put a mic on you,
Yep.
call it a day as
And
we,
do that.
you know, we can talk
Yep.
and ask you questions.
Yep.
Any word on the Jeep? It's gonna be
Lots
done.
of lots of words on the Jeep.
All right.
No, Brett's been doing a good job. I mean, unfortunately,
working
he's
on it
going,
though, right?
They are.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
that's kind of all I
So the
wanted.
goal is hopefully by end of week. I know we keep saying this, but you know, that's what happens when you don't have good employees and
End of week, meaning end of the year.
no, I swear to God, if I had my Audi back before this Jeep, we're going to have hell
That's
to
going to
pay.
be crazy. But
no, it's
there's
going good.
There's a new kid on the block, though.
That's right.
And what is it? What do you got?
Oh, my Malibu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anybody knows.
Well, I would say my wife's Malibu. We
Malibu.
bought this car for her.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Tell us about it.
2020 Malibu
2020? Okay. So
2.0 turbo Premier.
Woof.
The only one they put it in is the Premier.
Whoa, that means that's how bad it is.
9-speed,
9 speed.
automatic.
Because that's what you need in a 4-cylinder car is 9
You know what? But it
speeds.
runs really smooth. It really does accelerate very well.
I would think with a 4-cylinder, 2 speeds would be good enough. I'm kidding.
Of course.
3 would be good.
Of course you are.
No, 9 speed. No, actually, so you don't feel like it's like
Nope.
shifting too much because
Nope.
of the 9 speeds like that?
You know what? I feel less shifting because normally, like in a 7-speed, 8-speed, you'll feel it kicking up and down depending on what you're doing. This one's just, it almost feels like a CSV transmission where it just cycles through.
Pretty seamless?
Yeah,
Like you hardly feel a thing?
that's right. But the
well, that's cool.
acceleration is there,
Okay.
right? So merging onto a ramp,
Well, we do a lot of things on the performance end of stuff. So do you know what the
Yeah.
performance numbers on this car? Do you know how much horsepower it has?
100 and no, I'm sorry, 205, somewhere around there. It's 200 and something.
So it's a 2-liter turbo, correct?
That's correct.
Is this the same 2-liter they used to put in the Cobalt SS? I'm just curious
Yes,
because that
it
was
is.
a pretty damn good motor.
It is. It's exactly that. And the only way you can get this motor is to buy the Premier. You can't get it in any other version. The
Nice,
RS, LT, nothing.
So when are you tuning it?
I'm not.
I think you should
I like
tune
the
it.
gas mileage.
Put to like 350 horsepower and don't tell your wife.
Yeah, I don't care.
Just don't tell your
No,
wife.
it's my wife's car.
Just don't tell her. And then she goes,
No, because I'm not going to
"Why'd
drive
you
it.
tune in my car?" She comes, her hair's all like backwards. It's
Once
like,
I get my cars back, that's her car.
all right, I got it.
For sure.
I got you.
Right now, it's a
What
daily
color
driver.
is it? What color is it?
It's, I want to say it's
You
a
gotta,
sky green.
man, you got to get the official color from GM. I'm telling
well,
you,
but they call it a gray, and it's not gray. It looks
They
green.
call it a gray.
Yeah.
I guess I haven't seen the light because they don't look green to me either.
Yeah, it's kind of
But
like
it doesn't look gray.
I call it like a
think it's
sky
brown.
gray. Sky gray.
It's brown.
It's not brown.
It's brown.
It's not.
It's a brown Malibu.
All right. Anyway, I love it. As you saw it, I started it for you, opened up the doors, everything remotely, right here from my phone. Didn't have to walk down to meet you.
It was kind of nice. It started up and like rev. The cold start was like blah 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 blah. It wasn't actually. It was very quiet actually. It wasn't. I was like, I think he's missing a muffler. Someone stole his cats.
That's probably it. That's probably it.
no,
But it's good. It's nice
seems-
to have a car that we can rely on.
It seems clean, and just so
Yeah.
you guys know, Chris wants me to kind of go over the car. He wants
That's
to
right.
take me for a ride in
That's
it,
right.
and I'm probably going to bring a camera so you guys can see the expression on the face that I won't. The expression I won't have on my face. No, it does look like a clean car. Joking
It
aside,
is.
it looks kind.
Yeah.
That's not.
And we went down
So
the,
one day we'll go for a
there you
ride
go.
in his brown Malibu.
There you go. You know what? Should we bring in our guests? I think
You
we
know,
should.
it's
Because we
time.
got a few more things that we need to do.
One is breaking stuff.
Breaking stuff.
That's done. Check.
Yeah.
Got that. Check that off the box.
Awesome.
Broke shit.
There you go.
Sounds good. Okay, what else we got?
No, let's bring in our guests.
All right. I would like to introduce our fantastic guest today. He is, I don't know. He's going to tell us a story. I don't know if he's sole reason or he's a big reason, anyways, why we have one of our biggest cruise nights.
That's right.
Back in a sense to where it is booming. It has been doing good for the last couple of years. I want to invite Craig Fisher to the show. Thank you so much for showing up today. Thanks for having me. How are you? I think he needs the volume on him, Mike. Let's try
about
that
now?
again. Let's try that again.
I'm good.
All right.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Okay. All right.
We do that on purpose.
It's ever since COVID, it's been hard to find good help. I get what I get. There's not much I can do about it.
That's right. That's right. You're doing very little, by the way.
That's why I get help.
Let's call that out.
That's why the help is there to
There
do
you
the
go.
work.
Well,
Okay.
Craig, welcome to the show.
Yeah, welcome to the
Thank
show.
you.
Appreciate it.
And you know what? Thank you. When we attended Noland Road just, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, and sorry actually to everybody because
Yeah.
we went out there. We did try to shoot a little bit of footage.
It was a hot day.
It was the worst day to go to Noland Road. So
Yeah.
we were going to go back another time to actually give it better justice. That was not going to give it any justice
Right.
of the show. So that's
Yeah.
why there was no real footage put out afterwards.
Right.
So
That's what the heat dome was
we
over
had
us.
a few
It was 100
pictures. I think,
degrees.
That's right.
I think we had a
That's
few
right.
pictures we put out just to
yeah.
kind of show, hey, this was fun, this was good. But
Right.
then it was like, well, what else was it? I think it was Was there a game going on?
Well,
too? Like
no,
a
I
preseason
think
game?
I think it was where they were going through the changes on parking lots and what's
There was
available.
part of that. There was a game, and it was
Yeah, there was-
ridiculously hot. So we had everything going
it
against
was
us.
it was 100. It was over 100 degrees that day.
Yeah.
And it was excuse me, and it was very humid.
100%
And it was very humid as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's surprising that we even made it out because of the heat. Right.
Yeah.
But we did. That's what it was.
Yep.
But we can talk more about it now
Let's talk about it.
because we have a guy here
Let's break
that
it
can tell
down.
us all about it. And actually, why don't you tell us a little bit what? Obviously, you're a car guy. You wouldn't have got involved in a cruise night if you're not a car guy. So let's just start with this. It means you got a car, at least one good car. But tell us a little bit about what you have. But before that, what did you have before? Like, what you have a good history of cars?
Well, when I was younger, I had a lot of cars. Right now, I have a '69 Corvette. That's the main one that I drive out on Noland Road. I've also got a 2017 Lincoln Continental, which I brought down here tonight. But in the old days, my first car was a '66 Caprice Classic with a 396. and I had it for about a year. And then after that, I bought a 67 Chevelle, SS Chevelle, with a 396 4-speed and a 411 Posse.
Oh, nice.
And that was actually the first car I probably started cruising Noland in back in the late 70s.
I was about to say, late 70s. So they were cruising Noland in the late 70s.
They were cruising the 50s.
No kidding.
That's the great thing about this. Since it's all started, I've talked to people from so many different eras of cruising Noland. And they told me even in the 50s, and I think it maybe was only a 2-lane road back then, but they would cruise from Truman High School to 40, and they called it the loopity scoop or something like that. They actually had a term for it, but that was in the 50s. And then in the 60s and 67, KCIR drag strip opened up.
Yeah.
And when that opened up, so then it went from a local thing, where it was mainly people from Independence in that area.
Yeah, because KCIR was just down the road, really.
It was on Noland, right, just down Noland. And so then you're bringing people in from all over the Midwest. And while they're out there, there's Noland Road, and they see all these other cars. And so it became a spot for not just Independence, but really for the whole Midwest to
And
cruise.
just in case anybody is too young to understand or they're not around here, KCIR was a drag strip.
Right.
A quarter mile, wasn't it?
Right, quarter-mile drag strip. It was opened in 67, and it just closed early 2000s because I think it was some political stuff. Rich people were building houses out there.
They're
Didn't like the noise.
Normally how it works.
To be honest, I actually think it even went down to just one family, but I don't know who they were. It's what it was. Did it create a lot of noise pollution in the area for people who started trying to build homes more around there? Sure, but it was there before the homes.
Right.
Well, so it's kind of BS that it got.
Yeah.
But you know what? We got an answer to that, and that's going to be on Saturday.
That's right.
And we're going to look
There
at
you go.
more of that. So anyways, I didn't realize that that Noland Road, they've been cruising that long. So
It's got a very, very long history of cruising. And so when I started in the 70s, I grew up in South Kansas City, so I grew up in the Waldo, Brookside area.
Okay.
And I used to cruise all the strips around the greater Kansas City metro. And there was Santa Fe and Olathe.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, name all the different places that they had cruising back then.
Santa Fe was the big one. And back then, Olathe was like a little town out. You went out of Overland Park, and you're out in the middle of nowhere for a while before you get to Olathe. It was like an island out there.
Right.
But that was their strip, Blue Ridge Boulevard in South Kansas City, 3rd Street in Lee Summit, North Oak and Vivian a little bit north of the river. Big one was State Avenue and KCK. They had the old Peters Drive-In, which was the place where all the hot rods hung out on Friday and Saturday night.
Yeah.
But the big daddy was Noland. I cruised them all, and Noland was the big one.
So even back in the day with all the other type of cruise spots and all that, and people's phones going off, and all that stuff, Noland Road was still the bigger one.
It was at all of it. Probably had the most cars on any given weekend, and it was partly because probably the drag strip was down Noland Road, you know,
for sure.
And it brought everybody out to race, and while they were out there, they cruised Noland a little bit as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now I've seen a lot of times back in the day with KCR. I mean, people. Most of the time, I would go to events. They were driving the cars to the events and racing them.
Right, because on the weekend,
whether
Friday
they
night,
had skinnies in the front or not, they were driving, racing, driving home. So would those same cars cruise Noland then?
Right. And back then they used to have the grudge matches, and a lot of the high school kids would go out there on the weekend and you know
seen that too.
Race people for grudge matches. And so while you're out there, you're cruising Noland Road. Most people came from other parts of town where they're getting off at I-70 in Noland and going down Noland to the drag strip. So they'd see all the other cars cruising Noland, and so they would cruise it after they drag raced or before.
Nice. So the Chevelle, that's what made you really start cruising Noland Road.
That was the one that I actually drove out to Wild Woodies, used to be right off I-70 in Noland, and that's where I bought my hooker headers for my Chevelle because they had the best deal. It was one of them stores that had everything. I don't know if you've heard of the old Wild Woodies, but it's like famous. It was around for many years on Noland Road. And
now all the dealerships that are on Noland Road, now some of them have kind of left Noland Road. There's still a good handful there. They used to call it the Miracle Mile back in the day.
They still do call it that, even though a couple of the dealerships are gone.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's a full mile anymore.
Yeah,
because of the deal. But anyways, when did were those dealerships there back then too?
Yeah.
I'm just curious. I'm trying to picture because I've only been in Kansas City since the late '80s. So
yes, as long as I can remember. So I cruised Noland a lot in the late '70s, into the '80s, and even some into the '90s. And then I kind of was raising my kids, and I backed off a little bit. Of course, when COVID hit, as you guys know, it exploded again.
Yep.
Yeah. And I did. The first time I cruised Noland was like mid '90s, and then went to kind of when it was dying off.
Right, and in the '90s it was still pretty good, but I think in the late '70s and '80s it was probably even bigger.
And when I started going, it's not like I almost feel like now it's kind of like like any show and shine. It's like cool, you can go, and the reason why you go is to look at some cool cars, see some cool stuff. But I remember going in just an '81 Toyota.
Right.
And it wasn't even about showing off. Now, if there was a cool car, I obviously were oogling and they're going, "Oh, look at the car, that's awesome!"
Right.
But there was a lot of people just cruising. It was just to hang out, enjoy it. We would pick a spot in a parking lot somewhere, and then we'd hang for a little bit and chill. Like, hey, all right, let's go down and let's cruise down some more. And then we'd cruise down and just go around a little bit. Might be a few people that wanted to show off here and there. I did not have a car that could do that. My 65 horsepower was not a show-off car, just so you know. It's because you guys were wondering, calm down, Chris. But I remember going there, and I necessarily didn't just go there for the cars. I went there for the camaraderie of just hanging out.
Yeah, that was a big part
and
of
it. was always a good time.
Yep.
And you nailed it. That's the way it used to be in the old days. You cruised a little bit, you parked a little bit.
Yeah.
Back then, obviously, everybody listened to KY 102 on the radio. That was the big radio station in Kansas City.
KY, baby.
So there was that common. You'd see KY 102 stickers on everybody's cars. Of course, the guys were looking for the girls.
Didn't you have the shirt on? You had the KY 102 shirt on?
I do.
Yes, you did.
I still wear it out there sometimes.
Love it.
Well, we saw it.
That was my
last time
favorite
we were there.
station. I know they became 99.7 afterwards.
Yeah.
I'm sad to see it not around anymore.
Right. In the 70s and the 80s, everybody listened to that. It's not like today where everybody streams different music and they're all into different genres.
Yeah.
Back then, everybody, it was KY 102.
Yep.
If you were in their teens or 20s, you listened to KY 102 back then.
I was listening to that the moment I came to Kansas City. That was my favorite station. So
There you go.
70s rock is my favorite era of rock anyway. So that was right down my alley. So it was perfect. Sad to see the station go. So now I don't listen to the radio hardly at all.
They're actually doing I'm putting a plug in for them here. They're doing a reunion
revamp?
concert at Knuckleheads this spring. It'll be their last one ever. And all the original DJs are going to be there.
Wow. That'd be really cool to see because
That would be.
Because KY used to put on a big birthday bash thing every year.
Right.
And I remember making it to a few. ZZ Top would be there. They would always have a good handful of bands, and it was always a good time. And then the fact that the last year they went, or they had, well, one, I didn't know the station was going anywhere. And granted, it was on a 997 at the time. It was the last one they had. Didn't know it was. I had opportunity to go, and I didn't. And it kicked my butt because I didn't go to the last possible birthday bash because before the next year, they ended up shutting the station down or sold or whatever they did.
Yeah.
Well, to kind of tie it together, too, KY 102 used to do concerts out at KCIR drag strip. They'd have Freakers Ball out there and stuff, so they would combine a concert with the drag racing, and so that all kind of ties together a little bit, too.
It does. It does. I mean, I know we still got the Fox. That's a good station.
Yeah.
It's not KY, though.
No, it's a little different.
So what are they doing now? What reunion thing are they doing again?
What's that now?
What do you say? All the DJs are getting together?
They're going to have a reunion at Knuckleheads, the bar.
Yeah.
And they're going to have live bands, and all the original DJs will get up there and talk and tell stories about the old KY.
That's cool.
Max Floyd, who
That'd
was
be
the
cool.
big one, the
Yep.
legend from KY, is going to be
Absolutely.
there.
Yeah.
Isn't he in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
He is.
Yeah.
He is.
When are they having that again?
It's going to be this spring. I don't quote me. I think it's
Okay.
May.
Okay.
But it'll be they had one about 3 or 4 years ago, and it was like a huge success. And that's when they started printing up the T-shirts again.
Yeah.
And that's when I got the new T-shirt. But they're going to have one more, and they said this one's going to be the last.
I got to buy one of those shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think they can get one that says Craving Cars on it too?
Maybe.
I'll talk to him. I got
There
a
you
lot
go.
of pull in the shirt
There
community.
you go. But we got to go into I-70 Speedway this Saturday. We're going to in the morning, but it ends at like 5.
Yep.
My assumption is going to be that everybody will cruise back to Noland Road.
I would suspect, and so that's the thing that's kind of weird about the Noland Road cruise. Everybody's got a different perception of it.
Yep.
My vision all along was to make it more like the old days where it's kind of a cruise, you park, you cruise.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of got spoiled where we all parked in this one parking lot, but it's grown so big now, we can't fit all the cars in there.
Right.
There's times where there's so many cars coming in, every spot is full. They really don't want us parking on one side of the lot, yet everybody's still kind of doing it.
Yeah.
They're parking in fire lanes and everywhere else. So I'm trying to break that and get people to park and spread it out a little bit.
Well, then how do we get people cruising the streets again? Because last time we were there, I did notice, there's still some cars that showed up, but they would park. And then we decided to get out, and we were kind of trying to cruise down the road, and there was like nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last couple of weeks, there's been more cruising. Matter of fact, some of us were sitting down at Hardee's. And I've been very little sitting in the main lot. I've been sitting in other lots, cruising and parking in other lots, trying to kind of lead by example. And we're getting more people to do it. I mean, at Hardee's 2 weeks ago, we had probably 20 classic cars lined up in Hardee's sitting down there just hanging out. So we're trying to get people to spread out and cruise between different spots and not just sit there because we just don't have room there anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, because, unfortunately, the
And it's supposed to
property
be
owners.
it's supposed to start getting pretty nice. Well, I mean, not that it's not nice out this week so far, but this weekend's going to be pretty nice. So I think it'd be really good weather for a cruising night.
Right.
But I agree. I think it's getting it back to the old school of cruising, not just park.
Yes. So what do we got to do to kind of motivate people to want to actually, maybe park for, 15, 20, 30 minutes and then say, let's get out now, let's cruise a little bit, do a couple laps, and then find another place to park.
Right.
What are we going to do to motivate that?
I think just you guys talking about it, I mean, that's what it is. It's just, because a lot of people these days have been raised in a different era.
Yep.
And, higher gas
They're
prices.
used to sitting there just on their phone.
Yeah, well, they're used to meets, what they call meets these days, or shows, whereas, and so I tried to explain that. I actually had a post in the Noland group where I was explaining the difference, between a meet, it's just a random where you meet up somewhere. A show usually involves planning, trophies, maybe entry fees. A cruise in is more of a weekly or monthly deal where you cruise into a location, between a time frame of 4 to 8 or whatever.
Yeah.
But an actual cruise is more like what we're trying to do on Noland, which is what they do in Springfield on Kearney Street. They cruise Kearney Street every Saturday night, and they do it in Topeka. I can't remember the name of the street in Topeka. That's an actual cruise where it revolves around a street and not just one specific parking lot or location.
Yeah, you know what? What's great about it, if you think back in the day, like 50s, 60s, right, where they did cruises, they went from one restaurant, drive-in, diner kind of a thing to the next one, right? So it's spreading the business to all the other businesses.
Exactly.
Right? Go there, eat, get a shake, whatever, and then go to the next one.
Right. And, we're getting there, but, a lot of people just want to sit and look at the cars. I get it. Everybody's got a different opinion. You get people, half of them are saying, not enough people are cruising. The other half are saying, I just want to sit in the lot. You're trying to just, you can't make everybody happy, but try to, diversify a little bit.
Lord knows you can't make everybody happy.
No, unfortunately, no. But, I mean, you do see the few people that park where they have, like, the little bit of a grass area, and they'll sit in just because they want to sit and watch the cars go by.
Yeah.
And I can see that. Let's say someone's showing up, and they don't feel like they have a cool car, but they're there to see the cool cars cruising up and down. That kind of makes sense. But if that's the case, then everybody, if you got a car that's willing to cruise, then take it up and down. Let these people see the cars too.
Yeah. That's right.
Let the show begin.
Yep.
Let's make it kind of a parade-ish type of
and not
Saturday
a rip up
nights.
the street cruise.
Yeah, no. That's a hoonigan cruise is what you're looking at.
If you want to do that, that part somewhere else.
We can.
Yep.
Yeah,
No, just simply
go
cruise.
back to Santa Fe. And do that. No.
Cruise at 20 miles per hour. Just show off your car and let it do what it does.
And that's kind of what I've done the last couple of weeks is I've cruised about as much as I've parked, taking some laps because we've had more people sitting there wanting to see cars go by. So, giving them a little show. Me and some other guys.
Maybe we need to motivate some people to cruise to where we might have
put a parade on.
Maybe how about this? Maybe we might have to find maybe Craig even. He can be someone that someone has to find. So they have to cruise up and down Noland until they find him, and then if they find him,
where's Waldo?
They can get a free sticker or something like that.
Yeah, see, that's pretty cool.
There you go. Where's Waldo? Hashtag Craig.
You do have to wear a red and white striped shirt though.
That's right. With a
I can do that.
There you go.
I've done worse.
Unfortunately, with big black frame glasses.
There you go. So besides just the cars you've owned, getting into Noland Road, what do you have going on outside of that?
Oh, my gosh. My life is so hectic and busy all the time. I work 50, 60 hours a week. I sell electronic components and test equipment. I'm the patriarch of my family. I handle pretty much all the affairs of the family.
Yep.
Then my big thing is the car shows when I get the chance. Noland, of course, that's my big one every week. But I go to McDonald's usually on Thursday night. They've got a nice little cruise in there on 24 Highway and 291. Went to Big
I've been
Boy
there
last
many a
night.
time. Been there many a times.
Yep.
Same kind of old school.
Right. It's more of a cruise in.
It's more it's definitely more of the old school
Do you get discounts on French fries when you go?
environment versus young school for sure.
Yeah, and I went to Big Boy last night. Same deal. It's all old classic muscle cars.
Yep.
Did they get you a discount on tenderloins?
I wish they did.
Yeah.
Okay. Just a thought.
But that's the one thing, like you talked about on Noland. I always tell everybody, bring whatever you got. If you just want to come look, bring whatever kind of car. We don't discriminate.
Yeah,
If you've got an
support.
old classic muscle car, great. If you've got a newer, later model car, that's great too. Bring whatever you got.
If people don't think they have a good enough car to cruise in, I'm going to show them. Yes, they do. Let's see.
Are you going to post a picture of my Malibu?
Yep.
I knew you would.
No, I will.
Okay, it's not a Malibu SS.
I don't have it loaded up. I can't really show you, move over to the screen and show you. But the thing is, I kind of want to show people what my car was, what it looked like. The car I used to cruise Noland Road in. Are you ready for
Is
this?
it your Mazda?
No, it's my 81 Toyota Tercel. You guys want to take a look at that?
Oh, there you go.
That's what I used to see. Those steel wheels. That's the wheels I had too.
See?
It was,
Yeah, one piece.
And
it
that's
was
a classic
rad.
now.
It was a I believe a 1.6 liter, 65 horsepower, 4-cylinder.
There you go.
It looks like it has 4 doors, but good luck getting someone in the back seat if you actually want to sit in the front. So, anyways, I loved it. You want to know why I loved it? Because it was my car. It was my first car. And,
That's right.
That's all that
I paid a
matters.
whopping $600.
You know, and
for it.
that's what it's about. It's not about just going out there and having the best car. It's about what car you own.
That's right.
And you're proud of it.
Yep.
Go out and have a good time with it and enjoy the community. That's it.
Yeah, that's the big thing about Noland. I mean, I've met so many people over the last 4 years because I started when the COVID cruises started, and then as that died off, I kind of took a while to build it back up. But I've met so many people out there. It's just fun to talk to people that
You know what I don't get tired of hearing too? So if I were to go up somewhere with my car or my van or anything like that, and someone says, "Wow, that's cool. I like that." Thanks.
Yeah.
And, just think if you're going to show up, you're like, well, I don't want to show up. There's not a lot of other cool cars. Trust me, if there's a bunch of people, there's still going to be a lot of other cool cars. But then you're going to have people like me back in the day pulling up and like, I'm just here. It's like, man, that's a really cool car.
Right.
Thanks for bringing it out here.
And we get a lot of families on Noland that bring their kids out, and like there's this little girl Amora, I love her. She just turned 4, and she loves my car. And, that makes my whole day. She comes out there and wants to get a picture taken. She likes all the cars, especially the old cars, but she loves mine. That's her favorite. Matter of fact, her mom, it's even her cover photo of her little girl standing in front of my car. So that's what makes it. Stories like that. There's another girl, Crystal, that comes out. She does a lot of our little videos. Her dad died of cancer. He asked her before he died, he had a truck. She got it running, his old truck, and asked her to take it out to Noland for him after he's gone. That's the stuff that drives me. That's what.
Now, you have a Corvette.
Yeah.
It's a convertible, isn't it?
T-tops.
T-tops, okay. How about next time we make it out, can I cruise around with you in the Corvette?
Sure.
You take me around? We'll shoot some video.
C5?
3.
C3.
Yeah. I think one of you at a time. The other one's going to have to wait.
What do you mean?
You don't need to go. He's got a Malibu. He's good.
There's like 2 seats.
That's right. I got a Chevy.
He's got a Chevy.
I got a Chevy. I don't need to ride another Chevy.
No, he's good.
Makes no sense.
He's all right. Probably should bring. You know, it'd be a good filming car. My Jeep. Take the doors and the top off. Boom.
There you go. Yeah,
Anyways.
you got to rebuild that transmission though.
What are you talking about?
Your Jeep.
My Jeep actually runs.
Except the transmission.
How's yours doing?
Well, it overheats.
There's nothing wrong with the transmission.
I mean, I haven't seen your transmission or your Jeep since I've known you. Never seen it.
I don't drive it around you because we do car things together, not Jeep things together. And then when we go to Rigs and Roast, I take the van.
Well, that's true.
So, bam! A Jeep runs perfectly fine, by the way. It does need some U-joints in the front, but it does drive.
Here
and
we
it
go.
works.
So until they break, you're good.
There you go.
It's a 5-speed manual transmission in a Jeep. Those things never break.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
That's good. All right. Well, you know what? I had a
suppose they
special
could.
thing I wanted you to do.
oh,
And it's something new we're going to do for all of our guests.
okay.
And I had it set up there. Corey took
You
it
had
down.
what set up? I had
The marker and the...
No, I don't know. You did something. It's behind there somewhere.
Okay.
Let's get it.
All right. Here's what I'm going to ask you to do.
Hey,
On that board behind you,
just for the record, I apologize.
Yeah.
on the board behind you, somewhere over here, there's...
You know what? Just get up and get him here. You want me to get it for him?
would
you explain
since
everything.
You
Hold
moved
on.
it, since you moved it?
Boom. There you go. That'll work.
There you go. All right. Yep. There you go. All right. So here's what I want you to do. On the middle board, in 30 seconds, give me your best version of a car that you can draw.
Oh,
You don't even want me to do this.
Well, I do.
He's got to draw a car in 30
That's
seconds.
the whole point.
You know what?
In the middle of the board here?
Yeah, somewhere in there. You ready?
To be honest, I used to consider myself an artist, and I still can't do this. So I'm going to time you.
Yeah, don't worry about the cable. There you go.
tell
Ready?
me- Craig, you tell me go.
Yeah.
All right, go.
Whenever you're ready. Oh, he's going. Okay.
Wow, that's like Rocky Mountains.
I don't know what kind of car this is going to be.
It's not a Tesla.
There you go. Whatever.
Hopefully a cool
There's
car.
my antenna.
No luggage racks. No nothing.
You're only
No,
12
I
seconds.
don't have luggage
and
racks.
no windows,
You're
by
only
the
12
way.
seconds in. You got time.
No windows. So you can't see out of this car, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, you're good. You got 10 seconds left. You got time.
There's my window. That's all you get.
That's it.
Boom.
That'll be the worst
no
you ever get.
logos or anything. There you go.
No.
Wow.
It's plain. It's down and dirty.
Well, you know what? It works.
What do you call this car?
Yeah.
You got a name for it?
Okay, when I called it out, what was your vision of a
originally,
car?
I think I was going to start doing my vet, but what it ended up being, I don't know. It looks like it'd be on the,
Not a
the
vet.
Flintstones or
It
something.
kind of looks like a Malibu.
Yeah, see, it's your
You know what?
Malibu.
It kind of
It's your
does
Malibu.
look like a Malibu.
That's what it was.
There
I
you
was
go.
trying to surprise you there.
Yeah, what without the antenna on the back? Because what car has an antenna on the back anymore?
My
You
Corvette.
know, we'll call that it's an antenna. I don't know what else to call it. It's a CB antenna.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a whip antenna.
Oh, it's Smokey and the Bandit.
There it is.
There you go.
That's,
All right, well, good job.
79.
You know,
Trans Am.
we didn't think about it, but it was something we wanted to do unique. Give us your best.
Just make sure you erase that.
What?
No, we're going to take pictures of it
Oh, okay.
because it's right there in video on you. So.
Oh, I do have something else. I know we've been talking a lot
Go
about the
ahead.
Noland. Craig, when did you actually start doing some of the Noland crew? Like when you were trying to take over? Because you created a Facebook
Well, so yeah, I want to clarify that.
page.
So there's 4 Noland Road Facebook pages. Okay, 2 of them have been around for like 10 years plus.
Oh, wow, okay. I
One's
didn't
run by
realize that.
Jason Patton. I admin that as well with him, and that's called
Thank you, Jason.
Noland Road Cruise Group.
Okay.
Then there's Cruising Noland Road, which was started by Brad Mudd, who's the admin, but he lost control of the group. He can't get into his own group, and so
No way.
There's like
Yeah.
spammers posting stuff in there.
Yeah,
and
I'm
he can't do anything
I'm
about
not
it.
part of that one.
Yeah.
So those are the 2 old ones. So then when COVID hit in 2020, when Noland exploded, as you guys know, and it got to where tens of thousands of people were out there on Saturday nights. When it started to take off, there's 2 groups. Gina, who runs the Noland Road Saturday Night Cruise Facebook page, she started that, and she started trying to organize things out there and did a tremendous job of growing it even more.
Right.
There was also Jordan Miller, who started the Real Cruisers of Noland Road group. Those are the 2 biggest groups. One of them's got almost 10,000 members now. The other one's got about 8,000 members. Consequently, the older group that I help admin to now, that Jason runs, the Noland Road Cruise Group, it was stagnant at about 1,000 members forever. But I would post in it all the information of what was going on. It's almost hit 3,000 members now. And this is just this year. It almost tripled in size because so many people are doing searches for Noland Road trying to find the Facebook. So there's actually 4 groups. 2 started in 2020 when COVID hit, and then the COVID cruises started. The other 2 were already going long before that. So when you're looking for pictures and stuff, you got to kind of look in all 4 groups because different people are members of different groups, and so you never know where they're going to post the videos or the pictures.
Right.
I try to post all the information in all 4 groups. So then when you talk about when I got involved, I went out there during the COVID cruises. I remember May 16th of 2020. It was one of the biggest nights out there. There was tens of thousands of people. It took me over an hour to get from 40 Highway to 35th Street to Pizza Hut parking lot.
Wow.
Or Pizza Street. That was the first parking lot I could even pull in. Every lot from 40 Highway to 35th Street, including the old Kmart, completely full.
Awesome.
I had to pull in the Pizza Street and then park in the very back row. That was the only space left. There was a couple spots.
Yeah.
Tens of thousands of people. But after that, in late May, early June, you had a couple problem nights out there where the police had to shut it down. They detoured everybody off Noland Road. And then everybody started these smaller car shows around the area. And there was also a lot of rumors going around, you can't cruise Noland anymore, or the police will get you, or blah, 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 or there's too much crime, or, whatever. There was 2 different rumors going around that everybody's spreading like wildfire. So in 2020, in the late 2020, it just died. By the end of that summer, that was dead. There was like a handful of us going out there. There was nights there would be like 5 cars of us sitting there.
Right.
We kept talking about how do we get it back? How do we, get the magic of Noland back? And we kept dreaming about it. We tried stuff, and we tried posting in the groups, and everybody had kind of moved on. A lot of people were doing that during COVID because there's nothing else to do. But once things started loosening up, they were going back to, they weren't really car people to begin with. They were going out there.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that people were so worried about getting COVID.
Right.
Guess what? Cruising up and down the street and hanging out with people like that is perfect because you can stay in your car.
Right.
You don't want someone to get so close, roll your windows up.
Right. You're outside.
But if you've got a convertible, that's okay. Typically, you're driving by, you're staying more than your 6 feet plus away.
Yep.
People can be their social distancing, but still hang out and do car stuff. So I actually thought that was a perfect. I mean, if there was something good that came out of COVID, that's one of them.
Yeah, I mean, I met people in that spring of 2020. I met people on Noland from California that had heard about it from relatives, drove all the way to California, from California to stay with the relatives to go out and experience it. And they said it was the biggest cruise they ever seen. And these are people from California. And so But by the end of that summer, it all but died. These other car shows that started up in the area that were all sucked away, people that were coming out to Noland.
Yeah.
So we were dreaming about it. We'd go out there. There was nights. Dennis, I'll give a shout out to my friend Dennis. I've known since 2020. I met out there.
Hi, Dennis.
There was times him and I were the only two out there. But we kept working it. And finally I said, I got to try something else. And so I started expanding where I was reaching out on social media. I started going to all the car shows and cruise ins, talking to people. Sometimes I'd talk 3 or 4 times to get them over the hurdle of it's okay to go back to Noland.
Yeah, right.
You know, these rumors you hear aren't true. But once you started getting a group out there, it started growing. And so last year it started growing in 2022 in the spring. And it just went, so it went from, 5 or 10 to 10 to 20 to 20 to 50. And then we were getting 50 to 100 cars. And then last October, we did our first trunk or treat. And that was the first night we probably had over 200 cars. And then this spring, it just started out right where last year left off. And we've had 200 plus cars every week this year. Matter of fact, in Memorial Day weekend, a couple weekends, we had well over 500 cars come through there. I mean, so huge. It's by far the biggest weekly cruise anywhere in the Midwest.
Yeah.
Weekly. I mean, you could have once a year shows that are probably bigger, but weekly, you don't have anywhere that's getting 200, 300, 400 cars every week.
I know there are special events places where they have like a cruise night or show night where they close down the streets for just the cars and all that stuff. But I mean that's an event that's set up to be something like that where they might have 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 cars. But I mean. That's an event thing where, like I said, they're just closed off. They may even have judging. They may have, this all kinds of stuff. For just a open every weekend and it not really be like a scheduled event, show up when you want to show up, leave when you want to leave, cruise up and down, hang out with some people. I mean, that's what a cruise night is.
Yeah, I kind of call it, Noland's kind of like the Wild West of from what everybody's used to these days because people start coming at 5 o'clock or before, but they'll stay out there as late as 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
And you never know when it's going to get fullest. Typically, we get the fullest out there after 7. So sometime between 7 and 11 is usually the busiest time where it gets really crazy. But you just never know for sure depending on what else is going on. But you were talking about the other car shows. Even when there's other car shows going on, people a lot of times will go to those other shows.
Yep.
But then they all end up on Noland.
That's right.
Yeah, and I can see this Saturday. I mean, come on. I'm assuming it's going to be a pretty big event on Saturday.
It will be.
After that event, and it's going to 5 o'clock. People maybe leave a little before that. People are going to leave around that, maybe a little after that. But that is perfect timing to get down to Noland Road.
Yeah, cruise by.
And start cruising away.
Right. I think last weekend was a perfect example with it being a Labor Day weekend. I heard it was pretty dead until well after 8, 9 o'clock, and then it just filled up.
Yeah.
And it was crazy from like 9 to 11, I heard out there.
Yep.
It cooled down a little bit, though.
Well, we got to give a big shout out to everybody that's online for sure.
Yeah.
Will's Wheels.
Yep.
Stevens, thank you.
Matter of fact, let's if you got something else, let's kind of go through what some people in the chat has been saying.
Well, Adam asked, does my Malibu have the auto start? And yes, it does. So
no, Adam, nobody cares.
Adam cares.
He only asked that because he felt sorry for you.
I know.
I mean, this is
Barn Find, our good friend.
Yeah, thanks, Will, being on there. I got Stephen Miller on there. I've got Barn Find Fab Getters. Adam,
You know who that
I'm
is.
kidding. Good, Adam. Thanks for being on here.
Sean, he's on there.
I've got Mark from Ohio is on here. Mr. Vampire Bear. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks.
But let's see.
They're not watching the Chiefs game?
Okay, somebody wants to say 70s Rock. Yuck, nobody cares. 70s Rock is awesome. It's the best ever. Sorry, there is no negotiation with that. 70s Rock is the best. Okay, thank you.
Agreed.
There you go.
Agreed.
So I mentioned cruise, not park. That's right. Cruise, park, cruise. Perfect. That's exactly what we were talking
Do
about.
a little both.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have no issue. You know what? As a matter of fact, I think the cops preferred that too.
Oh, yeah. Because then we're getting so congested in that one lot. It's almost getting to be a safety concern.
I remember back in the 90s, there might be a time, let's say it got a little too hot and heavy to thing, a cop might cruise through there. He's not busting anybody. He's just walking through, just make sure everybody's doing good.
Right.
No one's doing
making
something
his
stupid. Sometimes that made people scatter and kind of, okay, let's go cruise and go park somewhere else.
Right.
And I'm like, well, that you can tell the guilty ones. Just kidding. But like you're talking about, what people talking about, they're just going to get in trouble from the cops. I've been out there a small handful of times. I haven't seen it once.
Yeah, we've had drive-through lot. They don't say
I've seen it
anything.
Nope.
As long as the property owners don't gripe, they don't really care. As long as
Right.
people are behaving. Now, if you're being really stupid,
If
eventually
you're being
gonna,
stupid, the
Yeah.
cop sees you. Guess whose fault that is?
Right.
It's yours.
There
for
you
being
go.
Stupid.
Right. And
Right.
then, you were talking about the how it grew. So a combination of going out to different shows and cruise-ins and things like that. There's the 4 Noland Road groups, which I post in. I also run the Kansas City Car and Bike Show page.
Okay.
Of course, I post in the Barn Find Fabricators.
Our BFF.
Yeah,
Our
you got
Sean.
Sean
There
Anderson.
you go.
You've got my the Kansas City area car shows group as well. So I've gone outside to other groups as well, and then I've got to thank people like you guys for coming out. Wheels has been out 7 or 8 times this year. I don't think there's any other
Who?
place. Wheels.
Never heard of this guy. Who?
Wheel.
How many does he have? How many wheels?
Is he 4 wheels?
4, I hope.
Wheel? Okay.
Ask Will. He's probably on there. But,
But
he's
but,
been-
but obviously they're his wheels. Or
Yeah.
it wouldn't be wheels.
That's right. It
Hopefully
wouldn't be
Will's
Will's wheels.
well, he's got some fancy tennis shoes. I know that if you've ever noticed.
Yeah, he does.
He's got
Oh,
some
yeah. We
white
sit in
out.
his underglow,
I heard of something
Yeah.
about that.
inside glow.
But he's been out 7
He's got more
or
glow
8
than a
times this
lowrider.
year, and
Yeah.
he films does a really nice job every time he comes out.
Yep.
And obviously that helps the cause. We've had a number of other people come out. We've had actually the Cops TV show's been out there twice this
Yep.
year so far
Yep.
already.
And not doing anything. I mean, just covering it.
Right.
Really. Not like they're busting it or anything.
now,
right?
one time they were just getting footage, driving through the lot, walking through the lot.
Yeah, yeah.
But another time there was a girl that wouldn't move out of a space she wasn't supposed to park in front of the auto parts store, and they asked her to leave, and she wouldn't leave. Well, anyway, someone called the cops, and they were trying to get her to
busted her.
leave. And when they pulled in, we're like, "What's going on?" Because when they pulled in, all of a sudden these people jump out of the other cars with these big cameras, and everybody's trying to guess. That was before anybody knew cops was in
Yeah,
town. They didn't. Some people were saying,
Yeah.
"What's the other one?" Police or PD Live, or some of these newer cop
Yeah, yeah.
shows.
Oh, I didn't know there was any other than cops.
Yeah.
I thought that was the one. I
No,
guess.
I think this is the actual Cops TV show.
So they were in
They're
town,
back.
huh?
Yeah, they're still in town.
The
So
Bad Boys show.
Man, we should have showed them so much more.
We should
I
have
wish
just caused
They're
drama.
riding with
Oh, man.
they're with the Independence Police Department through sometime in
Yeah.
middle or
Yeah.
late September. They're
So
8
they're still
weeks.
here.
Yeah, 8 weeks. They got 8
Yeah.
weeks in Independence.
There you go. Let's cause drama.
Yeah, so go drive, speed through Independence, do something crazy, and you'll get
Yeah,
on the
there
show.
you go. You get on the show.
Yeah, you want to be a rock star? There you go.
No, we don't want to promote that.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Behave.
Our BFF talks about bringing the Craving Cars van and announcing it on a PA when it's time to. Okay, all right, ready, to move and cruise.
There you go. Could be
There
like,
you go. Well,
time to
we tried
cruise.
that. We
We-
when we drove a couple weeks ago, we thought about it, but we didn't really escalate
We
it.
did have
but-
cameras ready, but there was nobody cruising to film.
Yeah.
Yeah, that night it was really
mean,
hot.
we had-
Most everybody was just sitting in
It
the
was
parking
Yeah.
lot.
It's a bad example. It was a bad
It
example. That's why I
was.
was like,
It
we'll
was
do
for
something
sure.
better with that.
Which is why we didn't promote it, really.
Hey,
or
this
make
guy
a
that we were
video.
talking about, who is this? Wheels guy? I don't know who this is. He said he took his driver test in a manual Tercel. Thank you, Will. I took mine in my manual Tercel.
There you go.
How about that?
I took mine in a manual Volkswagen Rabbit.
Nobody cares. Actually, really?
See?
What year was it?
The 83?
Nice.
Yeah.
My mom had a little 80s rabbit as well.
Yeah.
What color was it?
Yellow.
My mom's was orange. Can you believe that shit? She had an orange rabbit. And then we had a yellow
I
Super
loved it.
Beetle.
I loved that car.
We had the Beetle first, and then somehow we got a rabbit, and they were fantastic.
The first hot
They weren't
hatch.
like a GTI rabbit. Or
No.
nothing. It
It's
wasn't-
a first hot hatch.
Yeah, it was like a.
Because it's the only car with a hatch.
You'd get like 50 miles to the gallon or something.
Pretty much. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. 4-speed with reverse.
All right, let's see what else we got. Someone guessed that was a Corvette that you drew. Good job.
Hey,
Looks like the
give
Rocky
them a prize.
Mountains.
Give them a T-shirt or something.
Mark from Ohio. He talks about the best 2 manual transmissions ever was a Porsche G50 and a Borg Warner T5.
Uh-oh.
Mark, is that
That's your question.
Is that what's in the Jeep? Is that the 5-speed that's in the Wrangler? Is that the Borg Warner T5? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not good with transmission names on that. Are you?
Not in Jeeps, no.
Or in anything? I'm sorry. Let me rephrase this. Are you in anything?
Yeah, my Malibu has a 9-speed.
What's the
My
trans-
Jeep
what's
has
the
a
great.
6-speed.
Congratulations.
5-speed.
You know how many speeds are in it. So I know all the speeds of
That's
mine
it.
too, but what's the transmission called?
I
Which
don't
one
know.
is it?
It
So
works.
in other words, you don't know anything about transmission either.
Yeah, I
Okay.
know.
All right. Good thing I got this guy hired. I need to hire a guy about transmissions. Do you know anything about transmissions?
Hey, we're
I am not an
personalities, not
I know,
educators.
yeah, I know the transmission in cars I have, and that's about it.
Well, at
I
least
couldn't
at
even
least you
tell
know
you the
that. He
transmission.
didn't know that.
Nope. All I know is it's broken.
You know, with that said, I don't know it either.
There you go. Do you know what's in your Porsche? Why you talk about it so much? What is it?
It's a 6-speed manual.
You know the model?
It's a G50.
That sounds made up.
That's what he said. It's like a Porsche G50. I don't
Okay,
know.
what's in your GTI?
I will
What's
say,
in your GTI?
You know what? You know what's actually the transmission that's in my Porsche is the exact same one as in a 911 manual, 6-speed. Bam! Take that, sucker.
All right, what's up? What's in
Different
your?
gear set, so the red lines are.
So not the same.
But it is the same transmission.
It had 6 gears. That's it.
Well, so is a 911. Take that.
That's all I know.
I have a 7-speed dual clutch automatic in my Volkswagen Golf GTI.
Dual
It's
clutch.
the same 7-speed that's in the RS3.
There you go.
Go figure. It's in a GTI, and I paid a lot less than an RS3.
That's true.
Although I don't have a 400 horsepower 5-cylinder.
You did.
But, you know,
So what are you driving today? What is your luxury of choice? What is your performance car? What do you want to get out of the house and just drive?
Well,
what do you do?
wow, that was a lot of mixed questions.
If-
I know, but he's
I
paying
prefer
attention.
to drive my 69 Corvette because it's just fun.
Why not,
And,
right?
and you're going down the road, everybody's giving you the thumbs up. They're asking you what year it
69.
is.
That's the first year of the C3, isn't it?
Second.
Oh, is it
68
really?
was the first year of the
Oh, my
C3
goodness
body
gracious.
style.
Okay.
So I prefer it, but I actually, when I drove down here tonight, I got a 2017 Lincoln Continental Reserve, so it's a little bit more on the luxury end. I trust
like-
it more coming down here.
Tell-
than
tell
I
us
like
about-
that
hold on,
car.
hold on.
To
Tell
be
us-
honest, I like that car.
Tell us about the seats in the Lincoln.
It's 30-position adjustable seats. It's got leg rests that come up and
Yeah.
How many
wraps
positions,
around you.
how
and
many
the whole
positions
nine
do you
yards.
have in your Audi?
It kind of went back to the body style of the old school Lincoln Continentals, right? Where it looked like it should have suicide doors,
Right.
But it doesn't,
Right.
right? But it has that same square body look,
Right.
Looks kind of like
which
your
I
Malibu.
loved.
Yeah, it's fun to drive. It's got the different
My
driving-
Malibu has 67
You heard that. Okay,
position
you actually heard
seats.
that. I'm sorry.
See,
No, but what about your Audi? How adjustable? How good is your Audi?
It's the
seats?
same as the Malibu.
So it's not basically.
I think it's 12.
So not as luxurious as a Lincoln.
No. The Lincolns are cool.
Actually, a Lincoln is nothing but luxury. They're not even about performance per se. It's a luxury.
yeah,
vehicle.
it does
Yeah.
have a twin turbo though, 400 horse twin turbo.
Okay, so it has some power.
But
Really?
yeah, but
Wow.
but it's not. I mean, it's not a hot rod.
I would actually challenge.
It's a big
somebody
car.
Yeah.
To sit
Yeah.
in your Lincoln with those 8,500 adjustable seats.
Yeah.
And compare it to something much on the higher scale, like a Bentley or even a Rolls, and see what they think on the quality or the comfort of the seats
Right.
compared to those. I really do, because those seats are ridiculous.
Yeah, they're really comfortable. Like I said, it's got so many options. When I first got it, I played around with a lot of options, but 90% of it you'll never use a second time.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but it does have the different drive modes, which is kind of nice because you can put it in sport mode, and it rides like a sports car. The steering wheel tightens up, so exhaust gets a little louder, shift points change. Or you can put it in comfort mode, and then it's like an old man Lincoln. It's bouncing around.
Yeah.
The steering wheel's real loose.
Okay, I did get a person in the chat said that the T5, the two transmissions you mentioned, the T5, I wasn't sure what it was in. It's in a Mustang.
Anyway, back to the Lincoln.
Is the T mean for Tremec? Anybody know that answer? Does that mean it's the Tremec? Oh, so yeah.
Don't know.
So Mark from Ohio, he was just talking about 911s and Mustangs. So yeah, I probably have a.
So the Mustangs and
How about
911
this?
share
Mark?
the same
You said 911.
transmission?
What transmission 911? What 911 is that transmission in? Let's see if he knows that answer. Because if it's around the same year, it's the same transmission I have. The only difference is mine's geared to be slower because heaven forbid my Cayman be faster.
Yeah, but
than
why would it be in a Ford?
No. That's a G50.
Oh, okay.
And then he said two,
Okay.
G50 and a T5.
Oh, okay.
I'm assuming the T5. I'm assuming, does the T stand for Tremec? Could it be a Tremec? Because those are pretty
I have no
badass.
idea.
That's what's in the GT350s is a Tremec, and those are sweet. Those are really good.
I'm going to go with
Unfortunately,
you and
not
say
in your
yeah.
Malibu. Not in
Agree.
your Malibu. They don't have.
No,
they don't
mine's
have,
9-speed.
They don't have Tremecs in your Malibu.
I tried to buy the 10-speed.
Well, then you'd have these skinny
You know how it
tires.
was when
and
we
then
were
you'd have to, like,
kids?
go to
The
work like
10-speed
this.
was the one to get.
Yes,
You had
it
to get
was.
10-speed.
And now you got to go to 21 speed. or
Right,
whatever
now,
up
yeah,
to
I
now
want to
it's-
say my mountain bike's got 26 speeds on it or some
Yeah.
crap.
Yeah. And what's in that?
I use 6 of them.
Yeah,
Is-
it's almost
is it
getting
a-
crazy. You're like shifting
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah, is
Right.
it a Tremec?
Yeah, it's like his Malibu. It just keeps shifting.
That's right. I don't even feel it shifting. It just doesn't.
Well, we'll have to go.
But I do
we'll
like
have to
the
go
Lincoln.
For a ride. We'll have to go
I'd
on a ride for
love
that.
to see the car for sure.
What engine is actually what is it?
3.0 twin turbo.
V6, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
400 horsepower.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
But now they're not going to make the cars anymore. They're only going to do SUVs. So
Yeah.
Well, it's Cadillac did the same thing.
yeah, it's kind of silly.
If you go to a Cadillac dealership, it's all
Well, it's all GM.
It's
They're
all-
just
it's all-
transferring things around.
If I think Cadillac kept maybe one car, and it was maybe if they kept one, it might be like the CTS-V.
Right.
Not necessarily the V, but the CTS. In
Right.
general.
Yeah, the CTS versions.
Because they got rid of the STS, they got rid of the one below the CTS, which I can't think of what that is. ATS.
Yeah.
I think they got rid of that one. They made that a baby little SUV thing, which is basically still a car chassis, just sits taller.
Right.
But if they make one car, I think it's the CTS still,
Wow.
or they changed it to the Blackwing kind of version, whatever that body style is. But you're right. Everything else they have is SUVs.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame because I still like a car. I mean, I like SUVs.
I
but like a car.
prefer a car.
Yeah.
If you're driving, I prefer a car over any SUV or truck.
Right.
If you truly need the utilitarian reasoning for it,
Right.
buy a minivan.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm a grown man, and I said buy a minivan over
Hey,
an SUV.
I love minivans.
If
I've had
you need an
several.
off-road vehicle, buy an actual 4x4 off-road vehicle, not the crappy SUVs that they have today that
Right.
say they're all-wheel drive,
Right.
like I did with the Mercedes Sprinter. No, I'm just kidding. Buy a Jeep or a Bronco or
Well, I mean,
Or a
Ford's
Toyota
going to
4Runner
stay on that
or-
realm, right? So they're getting rid of the cars. They're staying in the truck and the SUV world, but kind
much
of getting rid of the
well,
cars,
yeah, they've got the Mustang.
Right.
Did they keep the Fusion?
which
They
is
said the
not a
Fusion-
I
Mustang
think they're getting
anymore.
rid of that too.
I think they are getting rid of it.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Really?
They
I
got
thought that
rid of the
Fusion-
Ford and
reliable.
Lincoln are getting rid of pretty much all the
They
I
cars.
thought they
rid
were
of
going to
the-
keep the Fusion, though.
They got rid of the Taurus, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
The most reliable car that Ford has ever
Well,
built.
Right.
the police departments bought it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but they're buying the SUVs now. They're buying the Explorers.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got rid of the Tauruses now.
Yeah.
They got
But
Explorers.
remember, they got rid of the Taurus years ago, and they came out with the 500. But then everybody wanted the Taurus because it was the most well-known car
Yep.
name in the world.
Do they make the Flex anymore?
I don't think they make that
'Cause
either.
No,
it almost looks like
yeah,
a truck
yeah.
slash SUV, but it's
Yeah.
really a
No,
car. as
they're
well.
done.
Oh,
That's
wow.
gone. Yeah.
So, I mean, I know they still have the Fusion. I just don't know if they're ending the Fusion. But obviously, they still have the Mustang. So it's technically a car.
Yeah.
But everything else they have is trucks and Mustangs. Or
It's not even a
trucks and
car.
SUVs.
It's an SUV.
Not a Mustang.
The-
I'm not talking about the Mach-E. I'm talking about the actual Mustang.
but that's what they're going for. I
Yeah.
think they're going to do one final
they're
hurrah
trying
with
to
the
build-
Mustang.
they're-
Probably, yeah.
Well, they
And
just
then-
came out with a brand new Mustang, actually. So
Well, you know what they're doing with it is
and it's still a V8. It's still the same
Yeah.
Mustang, but
Yeah.
the next
A last hurrah.
The next gen, whenever they're done with this one, they'll be electronic
Yep.
Mustangs. They
Right.
won't. They won't be
Yep.
V8 powered anymore.
Do you like electronic?
I know a lot of the downside to it. Like the range. You're talking about a battery EV.
Anything,
Yeah.
to be honest. Yeah.
Well, even like my Lincoln, because everything's electronic on it. It's a combustion engine, but everything's electronic. But there's some things I don't like about that. Like I always taught my kids, if your brakes go out, use your transmission to slow you down, and then pull the emergency brake and just push the release so it doesn't lock up on you. Because the emergency brake's a cable, so it'll work even if your regular brakes go out.
Fly by wire.
And it only does the rear. But so you slow down the transmission. You can't do that. Like in my Lincoln, it's all electronic. The shift is electronic. The parking brake's electronic. The doors are electronic.
Yep.
If your battery blows up, nothing works.
Well, that
Yep.
was the issue they had with, was it the Grand Cherokees? And what it was, they switched to this dial knob for the transmission,
Yeah.
and people were putting them in like park or something else, and they were taking off.
Oh wow.
And they were causing wrecks. They were crashing into other cars. And I'm going to be honest, I haven't heard any instances of those in a long time now. But for a while, this was some years ago when they went to this little turn dial transmission thing.
Right.
And that's an electronic thing. That's not a cable switch to the transmission.
Right.
That's an electronic device that's clicking and going through some wires, going to the computer, and the computer's going, well, you requested to go into drive.
Right.
I guess I'll go ahead and give you permission.
Right.
And then it switches the transmission, the drive, then you go. If the computer wants to argue about it, well, then it's not going into drive, it ain't working.
Right.
But people were supposedly putting them in park, and then, or they were just starting the cars, and then it would immediately go and drive and take off.
Right.
Like it'd be full throttle takeoff. I wonder if people just didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
Yeah. And it could be.
And they were putting it in drive because they didn't understand the dial thing. And then instead of the brake, they were like slamming on the gas and like taking off. Because I don't remember there ever being a recall on it.
Or remember when the Toyotas were accelerating and just taking off, and people couldn't stop them.
That was another incident.
And so my problem with electronic is because I sell electronic components, test equipment. So anybody builds any electronics, probably a customer of mine. And as you know, with electronics like computers, they malfunction sometimes. They get a glitch.
It's technical.
Computers malfunctioning.
So you always
Come
wonder,
on.
what if,
Computers so perfect. We should put them in charge of the
Right.
the defense program of,
Throw
of
it
the
at 'em.
government and
There you
the
It's technology.
I've watched Terminator. That'll never happen.
Yeah. But to your point, it's technology.
Right.
Yeah.
How many times you have to restart your phone, restart your computer because it just glitches?
Well,
right? And a
yeah,
reboot
yeah.
just makes it work.
Right.
You know, one of the reasons why I think
it's
they
common.
change things and make it the way they are, because if they don't change stuff and make it different to where it feels like a new experience in the car, I don't think the manufacturers feel like they'll keep selling them.
Right.
That's
It's
right.
all marketing. It's kind of like when they came out with the 3D TVs. It was a marketing deal. People bought them for a little while. Then people were like, oh, this is kind of annoying. You know, it's not for everyday use. And now they don't even make them.
Yep.
Right, and I got a buddy of mine that still has like an old Sony 3D, and I've got like a brand new like OLED LG kind of thing. And I said, well, my picture embarrasses your picture. He goes, oh no, 3D, that's so much better. Mine's so much better TV than yours. I'm like, it isn't. I'm just gonna let you know right now. It may be 3D.
Not for daily
Right.
watching.
It
It's
may be
not.
3D, but your picture quality isn't near what mine is.
There you go.
I know we're getting off of cars, but that's okay.
It's
called
technology.
That's right.
There you go.
Tech, because you know what?
Tech.
I have a screen in my Porsche, you know, where it has like the first time they had that big.
Yeah.
I mean, the screen's like, I don't know what the actual inches are, but it's pretty good size. Boy, that color is dull as shit.
Right.
It's a 2008. And that was the last year they put that. They should have switched that infotainment center out in 05, and they let it roll all the way to 2008. And then the very next year, it got a nice, big, vibrant color screen.
10-inch.
Very
OLED.
next year. But I got this screen that's
Backlit.
bigger than some cars, you know, unless
Right.
they have the big stereo upgrade package. It's probably still bigger than the screens, but man, it's not very
That's it.
bright. It's pretty faded.
So what are you doing this weekend before we close out?
Yep.
What do you
got?
you got going on?
Obviously, I got to go to Noland Saturday night because it's every Saturday night.
Bam!
And just to give a shout out real quick for the Kansas City Car and Bike Show group. Actually, Dave Ponder started that years ago, and he made me an admin on it because he saw how active I was in getting Noland going and some
Very
other
cool.
stuff.
Very cool.
So give him a shout out. But that's my big one. Last weekend I went to Santa Calgon. I got best people watching on earth.
Yeah, yeah, it's
It's
amazing.
not for
right?
everyone, but I get a kick out of it every
Well,
year.
I'm 3 minutes away from, and my
didn't go,
daughter
did
went
you?
up. I didn't. No,
I was asked, but
we were listening in our backyard
We had
to
some
all the
friends.
music.
we had some friends ask us, hey, we're going to go. Do you want to go? And my wife looked at me, do you want to go? I'm like, is this a trick question?
Yeah,
I was like, if I say yes, she's going to be like, I didn't really want to go.
yeah.
Or if I say no, she's like, well, I just kind of want to go out.
I think you kind
So
of
what do
know
you
the.
say,
I
right?
think you kind of
So
know the
I just kind of
environment.
look at her. I kind
but
of look at her and I kind of go, well, I mean, it's hard to say. What do you think?
No.
She's like, I don't know. I was like, you know what?
No.
You know, I'm
Let's
with
stay
you on
home.
that one. I'm with you on that one. Let's not do that.
Yeah, yeah.
No, we did not go. I don't know that I've been there. I've been there before, but it's been a long time.
I like it because they usually have a couple pretty good free concerts. Like I said, the people
And they
watching
do.
is
They
the
do.
best everything
They do.
anywhere.
Yeah.
Well, maybe if they do a car show, we'll go.
Yeah, they don't do that. They can barely contain the environment.
Right.
But it is what it is. But you know what? This weekend we're going to be giving away our stickers
Once again,
in
where
our
are we at on Saturday? Once again, let the people know.
I-70 Speedway
Done.
car show meet.
If you're
in-
curious-
from 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. and then
Yep.
after 5 p.m. Noland Road.
And if
Perfect.
if you're curious on top of that, of course, you need to be following us on Facebook and Instagram and subscribe to us here on YouTube. And you can stay up to date exactly where we're going to be and what we're going to be up to.
That's right.
And you know what? If this is not live and you're watching this, you need to click in live so you know what's going on instead of you watching this a week from now and you missed out on Saturday. You done
Yeah.
messed up.
Yeah.
See what you did?
Definitely support Noland
That's
Road.
what it is.
The cruise.
appreciate
Please
that.
respect everything that's going on there. You know,
We,
lots of things are changing down
yes,
there.
yes.
Kmart's been ripped down. Maybe something might happen down that road
That's a
path.
possibility I'm going to check into
Yep,
to see
yep.
if maybe we could meet down there again because we had to quit meeting there because the owner of that property didn't want anybody parking
Yeah,
there anymore.
yeah.
Right.
Well, now the
Yeah.
city's kind of taken over the property, turn it, and
Yep.
maybe there's something we
Yep.
can do there.
Yeah,
But big shout out to Advanced Automotive, always allowing that
Right.
that to happen in their parking lot,
Right.
right? AutoZone and all those guys, they've had some issues, but Advanced
AutoZone
definitely.
did for years. It's more the property owner of that building that
Yep.
AutoZone's in. That's more the issue, not more than
Yeah, yeah.
AutoZone. So I want to give a shout out to both them guys.
Yeah.
They've been really great hosts for the last couple of years, letting us park there.
Got anybody else? Got anybody else you want to give a quick little?
Oh, like I said, there's just so Gina. She, like I said, she's the founder of the Noland Road Saturday Night Cruise Group. Jordan, who's the founder of the Real Cruisers of Noland Road. Jason for the Noland Road Cruise Group. Brad for the Cruising Noland Road Group. Dave for the Kansas City Car and Bike Shows. But then just all the people that come out. Like you guys, but even just the regulars that just come out. and film and post their pictures, and that's what makes it enjoyable
Yep.
for everybody.
Yeah.
Ode to Noland Road that Craving Cars did back in, I think that was fall of 21. It's been a couple years now.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's probably 20 because it's probably when it was really exploding during COVID.
It's possible.
Because it died
Yeah.
down in 2021. There was almost nobody out there.
Yes, I don't know
Yeah.
what it was. We'll have to go back and look.
Yeah.
But I believe, Chris, you and I need to go back out there at some point before it dies down for winter.
Yeah,
when it's
for
much
sure.
nicer out. And so we can
Yeah.
kind of show the world a little bit more about and do an ode to Noland Road part 2.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be awesome.
Kind of see what's going on. So I think we'll announce that ahead of time to make sure, we'll try to pay attention to
Plan a
weather.
good
Hopefully
weekend.
It's a good one. Yeah, hopefully
Yep.
it's a good weekend. Let people let's bombard it.
Right.
Let's cruise the crap out of Noland Road.
Perfect.
Maybe
Yep.
we'll call the event "Cruise the Crap Out of Noland Road."
Perfect. There you go.
There it is. That's what we might have to do.
Well,
but-
Craig, thank you so much
Yep,
for coming
absolutely.
on. Honestly, it was great. We had a great time hanging out with you while we were on Noland Road, but you're always welcome to come back for sure.
I appreciate that. I want to thank you guys very much for having me on. Your studio is just awesome.
Yeah.
Anybody hasn't seen this, their view is incredible here. So big shout out to you guys and
thanks.
for what you guys do for the car community.
Yeah, we're trying. I mean, that's the whole point, right?
We've been trying for years, and maybe we'll actually make it mark one day.
I've only known you 6 months.
We as a
Oh,
people,
is that what
not
it was?
not as a group.
All right.
Craving
all
Car's
right.
been around a minute.
Well, I tell
but-
you what, guys, I think we're done, right?
Yeah, but I want to give a quick shout out once again to our sponsors to help make this show. You're gonna do that to our sponsors? I can't believe.
Oh,
you.
no.
There we go. Thank you. We are Warriors. Uncorked Wine and Spirits, RICHLINE Motorsports, timely delivery service. Have we got anybody else?
Yes. Mod Squad. Kids and Cars.
All righty. Yeah,
There you go.
I gotta include him in something.
and
once in a while.
Uncorked.
That was the very first one I said. Actually.
I know. I was giving extra.
Extra.
Because
Oh
Dave's
my
special.
goodness gracious.
Dave's special. And of course, all the Kansas City car community and organizers, promoters, anybody doing anything great.
And the wives.
That's always. Always.
It is amazing. Thank you everybody so much for watching tonight. I'm Corey Pratt.
I'm Chris Ruck.
And to remember all you cravers out there,
Keep craving.